My entire life, I've been a big health nut. Work out a lot. I've been a vegetarian since 1992. Not a smoker, not a drinker, and thought I was going to go run some errands. So took a quick shower, and in the shower, felt a little just tingle right in the middle of my chest. Relaxed for a minute or two, got up, and just thought, something's not right here. I don't feel well. Jumped in my car because I was afraid nobody'd find me. Raced to the hospital. By the time I got to the hospital, I was feeling pretty awful. Kind of dropped the car in the middle of the parking lot, weaved my way into the front door of the hospital, and by the time I got inside, it was pretty bad. I was doubled over, and the woman in admissions said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I'm not sure, but I think I'm having a heart attack." And she just basically threw me in the wheelchair, took me to the ER, and in no time flat, everybody's working on me because it was a pretty dire situation. I am actually a fine example of how if you don't have an organization like Hoag in town, people won't get the right type of care, and many of us could pass away. I was sitting talking to my mother, and it's, all the dust has settled at this point in time. It's amazing to think if it wasn't for Hoag Irvine, I wouldn't be here having this conversation with her. And I want to thank Hoag for making the investments in this community and being here to save my life.
5 years ago, I noticed a few things about Sullivan that they just didn't seem right. He seemed like he was losing a little weight, and he was starting to get dark circles under his eyes. My mom's a nurse, so I called my mom and I asked her, I said, "Mom, something doesn't seem right with Sullivan. I'm really worried there's something wrong." She just told me to call the doctor in the morning.
So we called the doctor when we got home, and they said, bring him in immediately. So we went into our pediatrician, and they pricked his finger and took the blood sample, and they said, yeah, he has diabetes. So Sully and I got in the car, and you remember that drive? It was a tough time.
So we finally just told our doctor, hey, we want to switch everything over to the Marion Dick Allen Diabetes Center.
When we go, we see his doctor. We also see the nutritionist who is there. And so for us, it's kind of a one-stop shop.
I think the main thing about the center that I like is it's not just a doctor's appointment, it's a learning center. It's going in for a doctor's office visit, plus you're learning about new things. It makes you feel like, you can handle it, you can move forward. People are there behind you to support you. No one will ever understand what he has to do every day. The people that are with us the most see him getting finger poked and all that, and they see it on a kind of a superficial level, but no one understands it other than the people here. So it's nice to be able to kind of just release that to them.
I spent the last decade trying to improve the care of sepsis for the community. My wife and I took off to Bali for our celebration of our 10th year anniversary. And towards the end of our vacation, I got this text from one of my colleagues here at Hoag saying that I just admitted your dad to the emergency room. He has septic shock, and I just placed him on life support breathing machine. And you can imagine how shocking that would be if you're thousands of miles away and your dad is now fighting for his life in your hospital and you can't do anything about it. I felt helpless on my end here, but at the same time feeling at ease that my dad was getting the best care possible. He then went to have a very difficult course where he was in kidney failure, he had a minor heart attack, he was having encephalopathy. He was ready to give up. He thought he was going to die. He really did. My family was all ready to go out and buy a casket. I remember talking to my mom during that time, and she said that whatever happened, I know that he got the best care possible. And that gave me a lot of comfort, because to know that whatever the outcome is, that we gave him all the fighting chance, and that's all you could ask for. And after 17 days at Hoag here, he was able to get home. This program that I helped develop here at Hoag end up saving me and saving my dad. I didn't create it for me, I created it for the community. But I just found that it was a true blessing that what we created here was able to save my dad.
March of 2013, all of a sudden, just wasn't right. Something was not right, and dramatically not right.
Well, we decided that, yeah, this is probably not something to ignore, so we went straight to the ER on a Sunday night.
Dr. Meyer looked at me and he said, I really think it's ovarian or endometrial cancer. So we started our journey, and I opted for surgery immediately, had surgery immediately, started a very intensive chemo regime for 6 months. And thanks to Hoag, thanks to Dr. Brown and his amazing staff, I am here to be talking about the wonderful care at Hoag. And what we now know to be absolute state-of-the-art in this arena of cancer. And it is here, it's in our community. We did not have to leave here. We got to stay home for treatment. And that's what this is all about. We all need to support this hospital. As our friend Bill Thompson.
Bill always said, and I've always given him credit for saying this, that when it's your turn, you'll be glad you did. I'm talking about raising money for Hoag. And that came home to roost for us.